Hey guys, CryptoDad here again. Thanks for joining me on the Saturday night live stream, live from Michigan, where you can throw out questions and I'll do my best to get them answered. We'll talk about Bitcoin. We'll talk about the news. We'll talk about altcoins. Going to move some crypto around for you guys. And as always, I'll do my very best to get to your questions and see if we can answer them here live. So thank you guys for joining me. It's a pretty cold day here in Michigan. We had a good little dusting of snow a couple days ago, and it stayed pretty cold, so everything's pretty icy. And but I love Michigan and I love the weather. And today is winter solstice, by the way, the shortest day of the year. It only gets better from here. The days start to get longer from this day on. Isn't that cool? What are we going to do tonight? I'm going to talk a little bit about the news. I don't want to dwell on it too much because I've got a lot of cool things I want to do for you, and I've got a couple of tech questions. So we're going to just kind of dive into that stuff as soon as possible. The security key app, we had a question on that. And we have a question on Polygon with Ledger. So hang around after the news. I'll dive right into those. And then the main thing I wanted to do was demonstrate how to sync up your wallets if you get a new phone. So a lot of people get new devices this time of year for Christmas and whatnot. And more and more people are using their phone to, if not manage their crypto, at least kind of monitor their crypto from their phone. And these crypto apps can run on your phone, but I like to pair them up with my hardware device, and that's what you should be doing too for added security. So what happens when you buy a new phone? Well, I'll tell you because I got a new phone, and I purposely waited to sync up my wallets to my new phone just so you guys can sort of see it in action. We're going to try it live. We'll be working without a net. So I've got 2 or 3 different wallets and or apps that I want to sync up to my existing hardware device, my Ledger. So we'll jump into that. That'll be fun. And so many people worry that, you know, when they switch devices, what if I lose my phone? What if I get a new phone? Will I lose my crypto? No, of course not. Not if you're using a hardware wallet. And then all you have to do is pair it up. And a lot of people get confused. They think, oh, I got to reset my device or, you know, restore from seed phrase and do all this crazy stuff that they don't need to. And then things get all messed up because now they've wiped their device. So we don't have to do any of that. We're just going to sync up our existing hardware wallet to some new phone apps on a new phone. So that'll be fun. Like I said, I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on the news. The big story that I put on the thumbnail was Bitcoin bounces back. And basically it bounced back from 92,000. And currently, I don't know, where are we sitting right now? Let's see. I think we're at, well, it's scrolling. Why is it doing that? Let's just go here. Whoops. There we go. Crypto news. Let's see. Okay. Why do they scroll it? Doggone it. Anyway, 97,000, which is nothing to sneeze at, right? So, lest we forget, on Tuesday, we hit a new all-time high for Bitcoin. Pretty cool. This one says 107. I saw some over 108. But for those of you who are, you know, really stressed out and crying because Bitcoin has pulled back, we need to remember that it really was on a tear over the last couple of weeks and months. And so, you know, it always pulls back when it gets overbought or oversold, I'm not a chartist. All I know is when it goes up really fast, there's always some pullbacks. So, yeah, we're going to see some pullbacks. But the great news, and it seems to be lost in the shuffle, is that we hit a brand new all-time high on Tuesday, less than a week ago. And then I've got this story here, and I need to link these stories down below. I haven't done that yet, but I will. Bitcoin 108K all-time high last seconds as BTC price dives 2.4%. This was on December 17th. 2.4% was down to 106,000. So, nobody really worried too much about that. But then the big Fed announcement came on, I don't know, when was this? Wednesday? Gosh, I don't know when he actually, was it Friday? I don't know, and I don't really care too much. And, here's the headline: Federal Reserve's Powell rejects Bitcoin reserve. Well, yeah. I mean, is anyone really surprised that Powell, threw, how did I put it? Is anybody surprised that Powell threw cold water on Bitcoin? I mean, that's like his job, right? Destroy Bitcoin, throw FUD out whenever he can. And sure enough, he did. Interestingly, you've given yourself away, Powell, because if I'm not mistaken, this is the first time Powell actually uttered the word Bitcoin in his Fed announcement or whatever, So now he's like, okay, the Fed had to actually say the word Bitcoin, right? So... And this Bitcoin reserve, the Bitcoin strategic reserve that Trump is talking about, and I'm sorry, I meant to look this up before the stream. The strategic reserve that Trump is talking about, I believe, is the Treasury Department. It's kind of like the Strategic Oil Reserve. And I think that is run by the Treasury Department. Anybody knows for sure, throw it out there. I didn't get a chance to look it up. I'm sorry, I got busy today. But I don't think it was ever on the table that the Federal Reserve Bank, which is not the government, by the way, it is a private consortium of bankers that slapped the word federal on there, so it sounds like they're a government agency. Federal Reserve is about as Federal Express. So we all know Federal Express is not part of the government, so just because the Federal Reserve has the word federal in it doesn't mean they're part of the government. So anyway, I don't think that the strategic reserve that Trump was talking about had anything to do with the Fed. But the Fed says, oh, we can't hold Bitcoin, and the whole world goes nuts, right? Just temp, guys. Thank you so much, Dusted in Shadow, for gifting a membership. W, thank you for throwing me a little love before the stream even started, saying that you watch every Sunday morning, and you have a question about the Ledger Flex and whether or not it supports the passkey functionality. And I'm pretty sure that it does. I just double checked before we started. I was able to download the app on there, the security key app, and that would seem to me to be all you would really need. So you have to install the app on there in order to use it as a passkey. And you don't really enable it in settings, as far as I know, unless you're talking about a passphrase, which both Flex and Stack support. But anyway, let's get through the news here. Oh, well, that's pretty much it. I mean, I didn't really want to talk about the news too much tonight. But yeah, put things in perspective. All-time high Tuesday, FUD Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, or whenever he made this announcement. Local low of 92,000, and we've bounced back to 97. So business as usual in the Bitcoin market and the rest of the crypto market. So let me dive quickly into those questions that were asked before the stream started. The first one involved the security key app. So I have my Ledger Flex attached and unlocked. And let's go into the My Ledger section. In fact, I think maybe we can cover both of these questions. The other question was about the Polygon app and that supposedly there's trouble with it. I don't see a update for Polygon, but there is an update to Ethereum, and a Polygon account basically uses the Ethereum app. So when you go to send Polygon from Ledger Live, if you have a Polygon account in Ledger Live, it actually tells you to open the Ethereum app. So it does look like there is an update for the Ethereum app. So let's go ahead and run that. You should always check for updates. All right, I'm going to go ahead and update. While I'm running this update, let's go over here and grab these headlines, and I just want to drop them down in here. I'm not going to go through my normal putting the title there. I'll just drop the links in there so you guys can read these at your leisure. I always like to provide links because I try to, whenever I'm watching someone on YouTube talking about news, it always frustrates me when they don't give a link and I'm like trying to Google, oh geez, what is this? I don't think I need all of that, right? That's just kind of what led me there. Yeah, so I like to give you guys links. Yeah, I think I did it. It's just those three, right? Yeah, 1, 2, 3. And then I also wanted to cover this little Reddit post. We'll talk about that in a bit. Yeah, so there's the links. Let's see where we stand here. Okay, so the apps have updated. And so, whether or not, first of all, I didn't know there was a problem with Polygon in Ledger Live. And usually, okay. I accidentally tapped my device. And when you open an app on your device, it bombs you out of Ledger, the My Ledger section, right? The device manager. In the old days, it was the opposite. If you had the device manager open and you opened an app, it would bomb you out of your app. So it's better. So yeah, there was an update to the Ethereum app. Perhaps that fixed that issue with Polygon. So notice here, let's say I want to do a test receive in my Polygon app. It tells me to open the Ethereum app on my device, right? So it's the Ethereum app that actually controls the Polygon account. So there is an app update for Ethereum, so maybe that fixes the Polygon problem, if there is a problem. Or I mean, obviously there is, or you wouldn't be saying there was. Nobody like lies, and when they were like, oh, "I'm having a problem with this," well, yeah. So that must be that, or you've looked it up or whatever. So yeah, one thing to remember about the Ledger Live and the Ledger device is that a lot of functionality depends on developers that don't work at Ledger, like the Polygon team or the Cardano team or the Bitcoin team or the Ethereum team. There are developers that maintain those blockchains, and when they make updates, they need to update the app for Ledger Live. These apps are all, well, let me go back in here. It bombed me out of the app that time. All of these apps are maintained by Ledger helps, I'm sure, but a lot of these apps are maintained by the third-party developers. These are open source, all of these. So you can look at the code, on GitHub somewhere, but when there's like nagging issues, a lot of time it's not Ledger's fault. And people always, of course, tend to blame Ledger Live because Ledger Live is the It's the front facing app, the front door. But a lot of times little idiosyncratic issues with your accounts could be because there's a development issue and the app needs to be updated. That's why they're constantly telling you, oh, there's app updates in order to improve functionality, fix bugs, add security updates, whatever needs to be done, fix vulnerabilities, all that stuff. I spend so much time, dropping videos and in the comments of my videos and in back and forth in email. And so many people are complaining about, oh, I don't want to keep my device up to date, or I'm afraid to update my device because Ledger's not open. So all these like paranoid fantasies that people have. And, they're like, oh, I don't ever update my firmware because it's not safe and all this. That is the dumbest. I'm sorry. That is the dumbest strategy out there to, avoid updates because you're worried about something. The updates are there to fix problems and make your device better. And then other people are like, oh, I'd rather have a device that's non-updatable. Well, who wants a static crypto device that can't be updated? What if a vulnerability is exposed? Then that static device can't be updated. Anywho, I'm on one of my rants. Okay, so we talked about the Polygon problem. If we want to install the security key on the Ledger Flex, which is the device that I have attached right now, it is available. Now they'll tell you, or you won't find it if it doesn't work on that device. Like there are apps that, like some third-party apps, like the SUI app, for example, it is not compatible with the Ledger Flex or the Ledger Stacks. We can check it right now just to be on this, to find out for sure. But the SUI app, that's a particular coin, it only works on the Ledger X and below. It doesn't work on the Stacks and Flex. So let's check it and see. No, it's not there. See, so there are certain apps that just won't show up if they're not compatible with your device. But for the security key app, it worked. So if you wanted to use your Flex as a security key, then you could do that. So basically you go into the security key app and then you log into whatever site you want to set up this thing as your external security key, and you go through the motions like you do it on Coinbase or Kraken, or I don't know. I think there's lots of different types of sites that support security keys, right? And so you connect your device and you tell it you have a security key. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Like Coinbase is kind of quirky. Kraken works really well. But, it does appear to work on this device, as far as I can tell. Okay, want to thank everybody for being here. Let me get caught up on comments. W is here. Thank you for being here. I noticed on the Ledger device you were having trouble with Polygon. I think I covered that. But like I said, I don't know if that fixed it or not. Are all U.S. staters taking advantage of the safe harbor tax period until the 31st? I've heard about this. There's a lot of hand waving and screaming that there's things we need to do with our crypto before December 31st. I don't know how crucial all of that is. The current tax, crypto tax rules are in place for for 2024. The tax laws don't change until next season's taxes. But apparently there are some things that people should do. So let me go ahead and I haven't had a chance to read this particular article. Andreas Antonopoulos did a a YouTube video that everyone was talking about. So let me go ahead. I'm not really prepared to talk about this because his video is like an hour and a half long, and we were doing stuff today. I didn't get a chance to watch the entire video, but I did. There is a link to this blog post. So I'll go ahead and throw that up there too. That's the blog post about these new tax rules. And according to this blog, there are some things you should do before the 31st. I don't know exactly what they are. Like I said, I didn't really have time to research this. But I don't know, to be honest with you. It has something to do with the way taxes are calculated instead of a global buy and sell or capital gains and losses. It's on a per wallet basis. So if you're not using a wallet, it's not something you really need to worry about so much, unless maybe you're using two different exchanges, and then I think they might consider the exchange its own wallet. Like I said, I have not had a chance to read this. I wasn't going to talk about this tonight, but I'm giving you links for the information. So yeah, I didn't get a chance to look this over. Is it safe to do any activity in your hard drive other than just use it for storage? Also, can you use your VPN to do business outside the States? GE. VPN is, if you're on exchanges using a VPN, it flags as risky behavior. You might be able to get away with it with some exchanges, but or you might be able to get away with it on Coinbase and Kraken to a point, but though that is a red flag. And if you're using a Coinbase or Kraken, you had to have used your ID to get signed up for it. And they have all of your personal information. So trying to hide your identity from a crypto exchange that you already, you have a login for, it really doesn't make sense, and I had someone said, oh, I'm always using my VPN. And that's fine, I guess. But yeah, I mean, try maybe not to connect your VPN while you're logging into your Coinbase account, because they might lock your account because they might think it's a red flag, you're doing something shady. Just putting that out there. But the question was about hard drive, other activity on your hard drive. We had when you say hard drive, I'm assuming you mean your computer. We had a story last week about someone whose kid got on their computer and, or I did a video earlier in the week. Somebody's kid got on their computer and installed a Roblox exploit, which gained access to his Coinbase account because he was using a local pass key for his Coinbase account, which was his computer. And once the child installed the exploit, a hacker got remote access to the machine and was able to access the Coinbase account. So in answer to that question, I use my computer for a lot of different things, but I'm pretty careful. So at the very least, you should probably not let other family members use your computer that you're dealing with crypto, right? Just because of the risk that they might download something that you're not aware of, not realizing what they're doing either. Sometimes if a kid wants a game or something, they'll start downloading bloatware and not realize that they've done something. So yeah, I mean, just some people buy a separate laptop only for crypto. I find that to be a little bit of overkill. As long as you take care of your machine, don't download junk, run antivirus and malware and all that good stuff. Anyway, there's a lot of questions. Can you explain the setting different network like Polygon, Ethereum, etc. when transferring crypto from a wallet to an exchange? Yeah, let's go over that real quick. I did want to move some Bitcoin, so I wanted to do that before we got too far into it. So what I'd like to do is move some Bitcoin over to Coinbase. And so I want to get that one rolling. So if we're in Coinbase, oh, by the way, Coinbase has changed their interface. They used to say transfer, and then when you click transfer, you had 4 options. Yeah, now it's like, okay. let me refresh this just to be on the safe side. All right, so transfer is send crypto, which is crypto in your Coinbase account. And then deposit would be incoming. So before, everything was under transfer and it was a little bit confusing. They still have this receive crypto, which really should be deposit crypto, but now they've moved it to the deposit button. So I guess it makes more sense. So yeah, I want to deposit crypto. So I hit the deposit button and then I say receive crypto. Okay. And then I choose Bitcoin. And then I grab that address and we run over here and we drop that address into my Ledger Live interface. And then let's just do 100. I'm going to do 110 because there'll be some fees. All right, so my fee is 79. That's not bad. My blockchain fee, that's Bitcoin blockchain. That's not Ledger charging me. That's not Coinbase charging me. That is the Bitcoin network fees that I'm paying here. We'll hit continue. This is my Bitcoin Flex account, which means I should have my Flex attached, which I do. We'll hit continue again. This little guy beeped. Asked me to open the Bitcoin app. I hit open. All right, Bitcoin app opens, and then hold this a little closer so you can see it. I don't want to mess around with all the cameras tonight. All right, it wants me to swipe. All right, there's the information. And then it wants me to hold to sign. So I hold and sign. That's just a quick transaction because I kind of wanted to show you how my Stacks device works as a passkey. So I wanted to do a cash out on Coinbase, which requires my passkey. But the question was, what about all these different networks? Well, first of all, if you don't know the difference between the networks, then it really shouldn't concern you too much unless you're using Polygon or Arbitrum or Optimism or Binance Smart Chain or whatever. If you really don't know what the difference is, it really shouldn't concern you that much. But the long and short of it is if I want to make a transfer over to Coinbase from my Ethereum wallet and I want to do a send, then over on Coinbase, if I say I want to deposit some Ethereum, it should be on the Ethereum network, right? It's giving me all these choices. Now, the first mistake that newcomers will make is, okay, I want to transfer some Ethereum from my Ethereum wallet. And Ethereum, if I choose the Ethereum network, it's going to take 3 minutes. If I choose Base network, it's only going to take 17 minutes. Or 17 seconds, pardon me. And so they're like, oh, let me use Base. It's faster. No, don't do that. Also, like they used to have the fees, right? So a lot of people would go, oh, this one's cheaper, so I'll do that one. Actually, when you make a deposit, it's not going to make any difference because they're always going to give you the same address. So in the deposit, it's not going to be a big deal. It's when you're making withdrawals that it can be a problem. But anyhow. So I would choose the Ethereum network. Now, if I were coming from, say, Polygon, and we talked a little bit about Polygon, right? And I were doing a send, then when I made my deposit, I might say, okay, Paul, right? And then I would use the Polygon network because I'm already on the Polygon network, right? I am coming from a Polygon wallet, so I would get a Polygon address. That makes sense, right? But look, if I do Ethereum, it's the same address, so it doesn't really make much difference to Coinbase. When you send into this particular address, if it's coming from Ethereum, it'll drop it in as Ethereum. As far as I know, I don't know that they would convert it. Yeah. But let's say, okay, I have Polygon in my wallet, and I don't know if it's going to let me do this or not. Okay, there's like a minuscule amount there. I would want to send it out on the Polygon network. It's cheaper, right? But I would need to use a Polygon wallet to receive it. And I think the mistake that a lot of people make is they'll say, okay, I want this on the Polygon network, and then they want to drop it into their Ethereum wallet, and it never shows up. So you want the network that you use and the wallet that's receiving it to be the same, right? So if I'm sending Ethereum on the Ethereum network, I should drop it in my Ethereum wallet. If I'm sending Ethereum to my Polygon, well, that doesn't make sense. If I'm sending a Polygon token to my a Polygon wallet or to my ledger, I need a Polygon account. Otherwise, if I try to send a Polygon token or a Polygon NFT to my Ethereum address, it's not going to show up in Ledger Live if I'm using an Ethereum account. But you can set up a Polygon account to receive Polygon tokens and Polygon NFTs. They've added a lot of this over the years. Like in the beginning, Ledger Live did not support Base, pardon me, or Polygon. These are all alternate chains on Ethereum. And like I said, if you don't know what the hell I'm talking about, then you should just be using Ethereum network. But it used to throw a lot of people off because they would see the alternate networks when they were making withdrawals, and they would go, oh, look, Binance Smart Chain is cheaper. And they would use Binance Smart Chain, and it'd go to a Binance Smart Chain wallet, and they never saw it because they didn't even know what Binance Smart Chain was. They just saw that it was cheaper, when they made their withdrawal. And that was kind of the mistake people were making. Sorry. I wanted to show you guys how to connect your phone to your existing wallets after you've made your transfer. And I need, oh, geez, I hope this works. Otherwise, I'm in for some trouble. Let's see if it works. Okay. Yeah, that's good. I just got this phone and set it up yesterday. I think it was the day before. Yeah, it was yesterday. The migration was pretty seamless. In fact, I was quite impressed that this was the very first time I was able to port my phone number over from my old phone to my new phone without having to call Verizon. I mean, I've done this so many times, but it would always fail, and I would just have to call Verizon and talk to somebody and wait on hold and blah, 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 blah. The last time I did it, he couldn't figure it out. There was some sort of weird issue. This time it worked seamlessly. The only snag I had was that when I originally tried it, the old phone was on the wrong Wi-Fi because we have high-speed Wi-Fi and regular Wi-Fi. You know, there's 5G Wi-Fi and regular Wi-Fi, and sometimes, and they both have the same password because we have a lot of devices in our house, and some of them aren't compatible with 5G. And so sometimes my phone accidentally connects to the slower Wi-Fi. And I realized that my old phone was on the slower Wi-Fi, which is a different network. So I switched Wi-Fi to the 5G Wi-Fi on my old phone, and then the phone port went seamless. And my Google Authenticator I don't want to do that live because it involves QR codes that I don't want public because they have my Google codes. But let's go ahead and start with Ledger live on my phone. What's going to happen? Boom. It doesn't know, right? It's brand new. So let's just, I'm going to go ahead and disconnect my device. We're going to start with my Ledger Flex. And I guess I need to get the camera for this so you guys can see what's going on. Boop-a-doop-a-doo. Canon Rebel. There we go. Let's bring her in. Look, camera 5. All right. Actually, if I can move it just a little bit closer, that's good. Okay. This is my daughter. That's my lock screen. I'm going to go ahead and unlock my device. Okay, I'm going to get out of this app. And okay, we're going to say get started. I'm going to accept all this stuff. No, I'm going to refuse all that stuff. All right, now access my wallet. The Ledger device is already set up, so don't go in to set up your Ledger because your Ledger is already set up. I know the wording here is a little confusing, so we want to say access our wallet. And instead of connect Ledger, I'm going to use Ledger Sync because I already set it up on this device. You can see I have the Ledger Sync app on here, and I've already set up Ledger Sync. I had a previous video where I did that. I don't know how long I had the mic muted, but I apologize for that. I noticed. I hope it was just like 30 seconds. All right, so let's use Ledger Sync. And I'm just going to use my device, right? So I need to add a device, right? This phone has never seen this thing before. So we'll say add a Ledger. And I'm going to say connect existing Ledger. There it is. It sees my Flex right away. That's good. Now it's going to pair it up. Boom. They match. I'm going to hit match here and pair here. That pairing worked out okay. All right, now it wants me to open the Sync app on my Flex, right? Because I showed you I had that Sync app installed. So we got that. We got Ledger Sync rolling. Connect with Ledger Sync, yes. Turn on Sync for this phone or computer. And we're going to sync up all our accounts. I'm not sure how long this is going to take, so hopefully it won't take too long. Now it's kind of I really like this Ledger Sync, but it's a little, it does things I didn't expect it to do, like automatically, like I added some new accounts in Ledger Live, and they just appeared on my phone without me connecting the device or anything like that. I thought that in order to do this sync up, that I would have to connect the device and do the update sync periodically. But it seems like once you set up sync on a device, whether it's a phone or a computer or maybe even your laptop, then sync just automatically syncs those devices without having to reconnect the device. But I think, like in this instance, we're on a brand new device, and that's why I've got to sync up the device to this brand new device. Hopefully this won't take all night. Okay, there it goes. Okay. Yeah, so is it the same as Ledger Live? Yeah, it sure is. Looks good, right? So we got the same balance. So not bad, right? For a live performance. And the interesting thing to note is that these accounts are not all on the Flex. Some of these accounts are on a different device. Like if we look here, we'll look, this is the Bitcoin Orange. Oh, you can't see it. Let me turn this off. You can't really see it on the phone either because it doesn't. But this is not a device on my Flex. But when I set up Ledger Flex with my Flex device, when I set up Ledger Sync with my Flex device, it took note of all of these accounts that I had in Ledger Live. And if I were to delete them, they would sort of get deleted from Ledger Sync. So like I said, it's pretty good, but it does some stuff that that kind of threw me for a loop, right? So it can sync multiple accounts based on different devices, which is pretty nice. So, and if we look here, we can see this account here, Bitcoin Orange Nano. That's the same account here. Let me go into this. Right? See, the balances match. It's just looking at a balance that I had in Ledger Live. So it takes your Ledger Live account information, all of the accounts, and syncs it up to your device, and then syncs up the devices after the Flex syncs up. It's like, now I'm getting lost, right? I'm getting in the weeds here. Let's try another device while we're at this. Or let's try another app, phone app. Let's go into Tangem. Brand new Tangem app, right? And the point here is that when I set up this brand new phone, all of these apps migrated onto the new phone seamlessly. But when I launched them, they were not connected to any hardware devices, right? So, and this is the dilemma that people get. They're like, oh, whoa, my crypto's gone. No, your crypto is not gone. Yeah, sure, push. All right, so we got a brand new Tangem app, and I've got 3 Tangem cards that are fully functioning, right? There's nothing wrong with any of these devices. They just have not been synced up to this phone yet. So let's start with this older card, right? So I'm going to scan Tangem, right? It says, okay, bring your card up, right? Here's my card. All right, now here is it wants the access code. Right? This is the security of the device. This is why someone can't just find your card laying in a gutter and take it home and pair it up to their phone. Only the person that has the access code can do this. So let me quickly put the access code in here. Good. You guys can't see it. Okay. And hopefully I'm going to be able to type this in on the first try. All right, I got the access code. It wants the card one more time. All right, yeah, it is my wallet, right? If you know, I don't know if you bought this card in the box and someone had already set it up, then you would go, "Hey, wait a minute, this is not mine." Right? But Tangem realizes that this card has already been set up, and of course it has. It's my card. I know I've set it up. So let's see what's going to happen here. And this one's taking a minute too, but that's okay. We'll just give it some time. Some people are asking about ads on YouTube that are popping up during the live stream. I really have no control over those. I think it's a YouTube thing. You know, what's interesting also is that in the old days, if you had a YouTube channel, you could tell YouTube to demonetize the video, or when you posted the video, you chose. You want monetization on or off. And if you said, I want monetization on, that meant you got ad revenue from the commercials that they ran. And if you turn monetization off, that meant that you got no revenue from ads and they didn't play ads. Well, that's different now. If I post a YouTube video and say I don't know why this is taking so long. Does it want my card again? I don't know. I don't understand. This worked seamlessly the first time I did it. I don't understand why this is not working. Okay. Doggone it. See, that's what happens when you do stuff live. It's taken forever. It didn't take this long the first time I did this. I don't know if there's a way to get out of this or not. Ugh, doggone it. Okay, let me just bomb out of this and see if I can get it to work. All right, let's try again. Now it's going to be mad when I go back in. Okay, here we go. It should take me back. Let's try this again. Let's scan the card. All right, let's enter the access code. Oh, you know what? I have a feeling I know what's wrong. I think I know what's wrong here. Okay. Let's try this again. This is my wallet. Okay. What's wrong is I'm using an app that's sharing the screen. So let me quit the app here temporarily. Yes, I've run into this before. Yes. Okay. It worked. All right. It wants to know if I want to use Face ID. I'll say yes. Okay. And then it wants me to synchronize addresses. Right. Sorry, I have to do it like this, but it's like it doesn't like it. Oh, yeah, access code again. Okay. Okay, scan the card again. Ugh. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. It was the wrong access code. Okay, let's try this again. Okay. Ooh. Wow. Okay, let's do this again. Now I'll share it. Hopefully that'll... Okay, there we go. There we go. Got it. Yes, Tangem app does not like it when I'm sharing my screen with my computer. So yeah. Um, you got to see it sort of, right? I also have a ring. All right, so let's add the ring. So in this case, I would go up to the three dots at the top. And there it says add new wallet. And I'm going to scan the ring. Right, I got the ring. All right. Of course, it wants the access code. So I'm going to stop sharing here my screen so it won't get all mad. All right, it wants the ring again. All right, I got that security alert again because the ring has already been set up. I say this is my wallet. Okay, and then it wants me to synchronize addresses again, which I will do. It wants the ring again. Okay, that's good. And let's turn sharing back on again. Any day now. There. All right, so ring has been synced as well, right? So now I have two wallets synced. Bobby, thank you. Merry Christmas to you as well. Now, I do have one more Tangem card, but we've already done two of these. Let's see if we can't sync up Rabby Wallet while we're at it. So I have Rabby Wallet. Oh, Rabby Wallet synced up automatically. I didn't have to do anything. When it migrated over, it just synced up. So Rabby Wallet's kind of seamless, and it even has the different, devices. So, that worked out pretty well. I would assume that if I wanted to make a transaction, it would just want me to, connect the device. You don't need to connect the device to check an address. Like an income, if you were going to make a deposit. Anyway, I mean, when I see this address, like if I do a receive, is it going to let me do a receive or not? Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, with you do it up here. You just copy it. You tap it and it copies the address. And so when you look at the address, it's the same address as your Ledger device because Rabby uses your Ethereum address, for all the different chains. It's the same address, just on different chains. I love Rabby Wallet too. It works really well. I wanted to see if we could try Soulflare. I had some trouble with Soulflare in the past. Okay. So, see down at the bottom it says Ledger. Let's see if it works with the stacks, right? Because I got the camera set up for that. Okay, so let's do that. All right, so we got the device unlocked. All right. In this case, we need to be in the Solana app, right? The third-party wallets can't send the device alerts like Ledger Live does. So I need to be in the Solana app, right? So let's get in Solana, and hopefully this thing will work, right? It needs to be paired to Ledger Live first, right? I think it's going to tell me that. Yes. Yes. Okay, so let's go and do this pairing because I didn't notice that it was there before. Let's get out. Obviously I've done this before. So we need to go over to My Ledger. Yeah, we need to add new. We need to connect an existing device. And for some reason it doesn't see the stacks, which is kind of sucks. It's open. Okay. Let me, oh, you know what? Let me just double check to make sure Bluetooth is enabled. Yeah. So I'm trying to show you I'm doing this here. All right, so we're at the main interface. We go down here to the settings. All right, and it's on the second screen of settings, right? So I need to hit this little arrow. Yeah, and there's Bluetooth at the top. So let's go into Bluetooth. Oh, Bluetooth is enabled, right? So let's do that. Oh, you know what? One other thing I can check is we'll go into Bluetooth on the phone. There, we got to do some troubleshooting now. Isn't that fun? Let's go into settings. Into Bluetooth. And, yeah, it's not seeing my flex for some bizarre reason. I'm sorry, my stacks. And this is my stacks. Okay, let's turn Bluetooth off. Let's turn it back on again. The device is on. Oh, let's remove pairings. Whatever that means. Remove pairings. All devices. Okay, I can do that. I'm going to do that. Now it wants me to enter the PIN. Okay. Pairings removed. Okay, let's hit Bluetooth on, off. And this is crazy. Let's go over to Ledger Live again and see if we can't do a pair. It's still looking. Okay. Yeah, I don't know why I'm having some trouble with this device. I don't know why. I mean, it's functioning as far as I know. And this is Ledger Live. It should be pairing up with Ledger Live, for Pete's sake. I'm going to just connect it, just for the hell of it. Yeah, very strange indeed. Oh, it should see it. It doesn't. Okay. Well, I'm going to have to play around with that one. Yeah, it's so weird. I don't understand why it didn't see my existing stacks. All right, Flex. I keep getting the names mixed up. Yeah, that's bizarre. Okay. Not doing me any good here, is it? Bizarre. Okay, let's go back in here and just double check. Yeah, it does not see this Ledger stacks for some reason. Okay. Wow. That's distressing. I don't really care. Well, actually, it's the phone is not using the USB cord. The phone is using the Bluetooth, supposedly. Yeah, so this is a Bluetooth issue. I just plugged it in just to change something. Sometimes when you're troubleshooting, if you just do something off the wall, sometimes things happen. Yeah, I mean, you should have the device unlocked and be at the home screen. I might have to reboot the phone and do a bunch of weird stuff to get it to, like, yeah, it's kind of messed up. Well, this is what happens when you're live. Oh, let me quit Ledger Live completely. See if that does anything. All right, let's go to my ledger again. Add new. Connect existing. Just does not see it. Wow. Messed up. Yeah, restart the stacks. I could power off, I suppose. Let's see. Okay, yeah, I don't want to reset the device. But I would like to at least power off. I thought there was a power off on here somewhere. You would think I would know how to do that. But I don't. Advanced? No. I think usually you just turn it off. If you hold in the, you hold in the button and then you click power off. And that powers it down completely. All right. Thanks for that. Well, let's see. Let's turn it back on again and see what happens. Okay, so I turn it back on again, but still not seeing it. I don't get it. Okay. All right. Well, like I said, I think I'll reboot my phone a few times, but I can't really do that here. I mean, I could, but it'd take a bit. I'll get it. Yeah. And if I do figure it out, I'll like explain what I did, but it's kind of frustrating that it's not seeing the ledger stacks. It did before. I mean, the old phone did. So I know that the stacks is not defective. Anyhow, let me turn this off and let me see. Let me answer as many questions as I can before we're done. Let's see. That's for sure. Someday Rex should get some kind of crypto award for helping so many people. Thank you, David. I appreciate that. Bobby, thank you again for that little donation. That good donation, by the way, actually. Thank you so much. Let's see. Switch of stacks, maybe. Yeah, I turn the stacks on and off. The stacks works when I connect it to Ledger Live. Apparently the Bluetooth is on. It's just my phone wasn't seeing it for some reason in the Bluetooth. So I'm going to have to, I think I'll reboot the phone and try it. The travel rule will come into effect. The purpose of the TFR is to prevent money laundering and terrorism financing. Okay. Having issues opening Daedalus main wallet. Are log files and you asked me this. I thought I replied to you in email when you asked me this, Lynn. Didn't I reply to you in the email? Maybe sometimes I'm working an email and then I think I sent it, but it didn't get sent. Anyhow, the answer to your question is yes, it is safe to send the Daedalus team your log file and your screenshot. That is public information. It does not reveal your seed phrase. All right. Even if they were bad actors, that log file and that screenshot are not going to give them access to your crypto. It might, compromise your privacy a little bit, but you're asking for help from them, and they're asking you for your log file and your screenshot. So I would give it to them if they want it. If you're sure you're dealing with if it were bad actors, they'd be asking you for your seed phrase, right? So yes, it's safe to show them your log screen. Daedalus is, I stopped using Daedalus years ago. Daedalus is a full node Cardano wallet. Using a full node wallet is very cumbersome, takes up a lot of resources. on your hard drive to, because you have to download the entire Daedalus blockchain to your computer. I would, if I were you, you can use Ledger Live to manage your Cardano, unless you're using like a standalone Daedalus wallet with a seed phrase, then I guess you're stuck with it. But it's much easier to use an ADA Lite wallet like Ledger Live. Ledger Live can manage Cardano, but you need to be using your hardware device. Yeah. And if you're using a hardware device paired to the Cardano blockchain on, Daedalus wallet, then I would highly suggest that you use a light client like ADA Lite to manage your Cardano. Using the Daedalus wallet is just overly cumbersome in my view. And I'm not real happy with the Daedalus wallet. It never seems to work right. They're always making updates that break it, like in your case. So I stopped using Daedalus years ago. So you can use ADA Lite to connect to a hardware wallet. I would not use the mnemonic option, which is it's insecure to type in your mnemonic into a web browser. I would definitely use a hardware wallet, right? But like I said, if you've already got Daedalus standalone, where you wrote down your seed phrase and you're using the desktop only version, I guess you're stuck with Daedalus. As an old man, your video helps me a lot to navigate text. Well, thank you so much. Like I am aware of this new law. I don't know anything about it. First of all, I do hardware self-custody. I'm not a tax expert. I'm not a trading expert. I'm sorry, to burst your bubble, but I try not to get into things that I'm not an expert on. And like I said earlier in the stream, I am aware of this. There is a blog post linked in the description, and there is a long video by Andreas Antonopoulos where he talks to a real expert that knows about this, which I am not. I would suggest you watch this video and read this blog post. I have them linked down below. Once I have had a chance to watch this 1.5 hour long video and read through this blog, I will be able to summarize this issue a little bit better, but as it stands, I don't really know all the details, but I am aware of it. I knew people were just going to be like pelting me with questions about this tax issue tonight. Any idea why my debit card does not get accepted by Coinbase when I register in settings? Do you recommend any other brokers to purchase XRP? I don't know why your debit card is not being accepted in Coinbase, unfortunately. You might try your bank account. You might try Kraken. There are lots of services where you can use your debit card to purchase crypto. But personally, I have tied my bank account directly to Coinbase using Plaid, their third-party app, and I've never had an issue with it. But yeah, you might try a different debit card. Yeah. Can't really help you with that one. Sorry. I recommend Ada Lite because I like it better. Nami and Yori, the name suggests that they are foreign. And not that I am worried about app security. Nami's good. I'm sorry. Yori is the one that I'm not that crazy about. It's just the interface. These are not security concerns. This is just me preference-wise. Nami wallet I have used before. It's pretty decent. It is also a light. What the heck? It's a light wallet that you can use with a Ledger device. But once again, for a wallet like this, it is open source, but I don't know your situation of Lynn, whether when he set up his Daedalus wallet, if he's running a full node Daedalus wallet where the private key is on his computer and he has a backup phrase, then he can't really use these light clients. I mean, he can, but that would require him like typing in his seed phrase into one of these, which I don't recommend. If you're going to use a light client, I would use it paired with your device. So you could download the Ada or Cardano app onto a Ledger device, and then use your Ledger device to connect to Nami. Right? I think I have it over here, by the way. Oh, Eternal. Oh, I'm thinking Nami. I was thinking you were talking about Eternal. I'm sorry, I get them confused because they used to be, which they very similar. This is another light Ada client, right? So you can connect. Oh, create add wallet. Yeah, see, you can connect to a hardware wallet using Nami as well. I have 3 different bank accounts and none of them complain about me using crypto. I have Chase, which, I mean, you can't get any more mainstream than Chase. And then I have Lake Michigan Credit Union, and it never complains when I use it to buy crypto or withdraw crypto. So, but I have heard that people get flack from their bank about withdrawing from crypto exchanges. Gregory, thank you so much. Gregory, I appreciate that donation. You didn't even throw a question out. Merry Christmas and thanks for all the education and help to enjoy, and Happy New Year. I appreciate that. I actually meant I was planning on doing a thumbnail tonight where I was dressed as Santa, but I forgot. Today today we were busy today because most people put off Christmas shopping to the last minute, but my wife and I have been pretty good about making sure we got all our shopping done, and I think I had mine done Thursday of last week. But of course the kids have not, and my son, I took my son Christmas shopping, but he didn't want to buy me a present because he wants it to be a surprise. And my daughter and my wife had been shopping, but my daughter didn't have a chance to buy my wife a present. So we all went to the mall today, and then we split up, and I went with my daughter so that she could buy my wife a present, and my son went with my wife so he could buy me a present. So we had to do the last minute kids for parents shopping today. So we had a great time. We went to the mall. We were all together. And we want to, we're running out of time. So that's what we were doing today. I didn't have time to like work on my thumbnail that much or, post all the titles to the news stories. We just kind of slapped the live stream together tonight because I've been with my family. Yeah, I mean, if you're worried and about the machine that you're using for crypto, you could use a Linux computer, which the OS is more secure. And I know how to install. I like Debian. The problem I have with doing everything on my Linux machine is that I tried it a couple years ago. Linux does not really support the Adobe suite, which I use for all my video editing, and I use Photoshop and Premiere and all that stuff. And it doesn't work very well on Linux. They have apps for Linux. It's just too cumbersome for me because I have a lot of things that I want to do on my computer. And if I have to completely switch over to a different computer to do my crypto stuff, it's just too inconvenient for me. So these are risks that I'm willing to. There's a risk assessment. By the way, I want to wrap it up, but I wanted to. I linked this Reddit post down below. And we've talked over and over and over and over and over again about this whole thing about Ledger is not safe because of Ledger Recover. And there was this perception in the community or with a lot of people that Ledger devices never exported the private key, or that they couldn't, period, that they were unable to. That's a fallacy. There was always theoretically the ability to do it. And so people are mad because they say it used to not allow the private key to leave, and then suddenly they did when they came out with Recover. That's a fallacy. But I want you to, I know if you have time, read this, because there's a long, good, thorough discussion of all of the issues surrounding Ledger Recover and Ledger issues. Ledger's not open source, blah, blah, blah. But this little post here that sort of bubbled to the top encapsulates the issue very well here. And then there's a lot of people that reply to this guy. They don't agree with him, and they kind of go back and forth. And, there's a lot of back and forth in this Reddit post that is very good stuff to read. I read through it earlier. But what I'm going to go ahead and read this particular part of this post, and, succinctly sums up everything about hardware wallet security that you really need to be concerned about. Theoretical potential exists with any hardware wallet. At some level, you're always trusting someone or something, and that trust could ultimately prove to be misplaced. That's true for Ledger. It's true for Trezor too. But hypothetically, if Ledger were to knowingly exploit their users, which is the concern a lot of people have, they would, 1, destroy a very lucrative brand, and 2, open themselves up to being litigated into the Stone Age and jailed for decades, right? So this whole, Ledger's going to steal my private key, theoretically it's possible, but practically it's a non-starter. But this is the important part, this part right here. I love this part of it. Hardware wallets, including Ledgers and Trezors and all the rest, are not 100% secure. Nothing is 100% secure. If you think that your hardware wallet is 100% secure, or you think it should be, then you're not really living in the real world. That's mine. The purpose isn't to eliminate risk, but to reduce it by consolidating it into fewer attack vectors that can be managed more easily, while allowing convenience. Unfortunately, and here's the kicker, people are bad at assessing relative risk. They get spooked by the prospect of a ledger being 99.999% secure. They worry about that 0.0001, possibility. And then they go use a solution that ends up being less secure because it allows more opportunities for them to be phished / exploited / whatever. Basically, in any chain of security, the human is by far the weakest link. And it's not worth worrying about the hypothetical 0.0001% risks, while the very real 0.1% remains and serve as much more realistic and attractive targets for bad guys to exploit. There are millions of hardware wallets out there, collectively holding the keys to billions in assets, and yet there have been 0 practical exploits of the devices that themselves. That tells you something about where your security priorities should lie. And I know a lot of people don't like to hear this, but I've said this in so many different ways. Your biggest risk is you. Your biggest risk is you mismanaging the seed phrase. And the bad guys know this. The bad guys are not spending all their time and effort and money trying to exploit devices. This is a very expensive, elaborate, and time-consuming attack. It doesn't happen, right? What the easiest thing for them to do is go after the user with scams, phishing scams, text scams, software scams. Okay, someone's spamming. Let's get you out of here. Oh, I gotta go over here. Someone's spamming in all caps. That's okay. I got you. I will never see you again in this channel. Thank you for your time and effort by cutting and pasting in all caps spam. Oh, and someone else is spamming. I don't know what it is about at the end of the stream. All the spammers come in here. All right. So the question is, are hardware wallets secure? Hardware wallets are your most secure option for storing crypto by a long shot. All this FUD about, ooh, this is not secure, that is not secure. There's a, there's a back door. All this crap you hear is FUD. Please use a hardware wallet. Use Ledger, use Trezor, use whatever. But don't get all caught up in these these little percentages. But yeah, I have linked this Reddit post down below. I would encourage you to read all of it. But it can be exasperating because there's a lot of back and forth. Some people are saying things that I consider to be inaccurate. And if you're just coming in on and reading this and you don't know anything about crypto, you're gonna get really confused because you're gonna hear, this opinion, that opinion, this opinion, that opinion, and they're all stating themselves as fact. But if you've been around and you want to kind of get the lowdown, I would suggest reading this blog post, in Reddit. They're mad about ledger recovery. Ooh, I wish that never happened. It's a security risk. It is not. It is not a security risk. And ledgers are not backdoored because of ledger recover. So anyway. Okay. I'm going to head on out, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Oh my gosh. All right. So, stream ending. I'm going to get over here. Thank you guys. I don't know how long my mic was out. It seemed like less than a minute. I noticed it when I touched it, and I just happened to be facing the streaming software, and I could see that I was muted, so I fixed it. Hopefully it wasn't on there too long. I apologize for those of you who were here. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Thank you for all those who donated. Gregory, thank you very much. Bobby donated. I appreciate that. Christmas cheer. And Dustin and Shadow gifted a membership. Always love to see that. W donated early. I addressed your issue with the Flex. I got to figure out what's wrong with my stacks. I'll let you guys know. Thank you, everybody that asked questions. Thank you, Kenny, for the news and for being here early. I believe Dan and JDO were here. Yes, thank you guys so much for being here and moderating. I always appreciate it. I will be here again next Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join me again for the live stream from Michigan, where you can throw out questions and I'll do my best to get them answered. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel, I would appreciate it. When you subscribe, there's a little bell that you can click that will allow you to be alerted whenever I post new content. In the description of this video is my latest video on the Tangem Stealth, which was a pretty decent video, got a lot of views. I invite you to check that out. So always keep an eye on the channel. I got good stuff coming in pretty much on a daily basis now. So once again, thanks everyone. And I'm going to go ahead and sign off. I appreciate everybody being here tonight. and hope to see you guys again very soon.